I'm sure we all are very well aware by now of my lifelong downward spiral of my mental sanity. I've talked countless numbers of times on how back in the day, when I was just a wee lad, when I was just a young youth stepping through the trenches, stepping through the mud, that was really the only time that I felt true joy and happiness. As soon as I became adult, I realized the world is nothing but complete and utter chaos, nothing but mass hysteria everywhere, and nothing will ever come good out of it. But thankfully, some of our favorite stars from the simpler times in life have also crashed and burned, and we all get to bask in it while we all get to collectively enjoy our collective turmoil. Childhood actors who became horrible criminals. There's probably gonna be something crazy in here. There's gonna be somebody who turned into like an international drug kingpin. He's being held in federal RICO charges.
Sponsored by Current. Many celebrities we watched in the early 2000s went on to achieve amazing
Ariana Grande is a serial killer, dude. That's crazy.
things and lived out their dreams. Some returned to normal lives, but others not so much. With the pressure of growing up in the Hollywood industry, it's no doubt some ended up committing crimes and losing all the charm they once had. In today's video, we'll be talking about childhood actors who became horrible criminals. Hey guys,
Too kind of drippy.
Another video. You guys notice something different? We got the golden baby up
They got the sneaks in the back.
on the wall now.
Why has room got so much drip? Like, I don't think I've seen a room with drip, but this is one of them, you know?
Also, the next upload is gonna be the second 1 million special. We're already at like 1.1 million, which is, thank you guys so much. It's gonna premiere live, and let's just say, it's gonna be on other services, streaming services as
1.4,
well.
that's fine.
June 15th, new music video premiering live. Different
And he
genre,
drops bangers? And he drops bangers, and I heard he's a 5-star chef, and I heard he's packing Anaconda, so what can't this guy do?
I can't wait for you guys to see. I'm so excited. June 15th.
What can't this guy do?
June 15th.
You know?
Make sure to follow me on Instagram to see some sneak peeks. But June 15th is also the same day.
He's a
we're
masked
releasing the
vigilante
second
from
Earl
time to
drop.
time.
Earl is my clothing brand, in case you guys don't know. We are now switching that Earl to this Earl. Look at that. Look like a streetwear brand, right? And our quality is so much better. Here, look at this. This is an embroidered hoodie. And
That's
it's
hard.
a summer hoodie, which means it's lightweight for summer nights. Dude, I'm telling you,
That's
so many
hard.
things that are going to be sold on the store. We have champion shirts and champion hoodies.
Do you
It's
have
so fucking
underwear?
Cool. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Drake Bell. Drake Bell, one of the stars of the 2004 Nickelodeon hit sitcom.
I know this
Drake and
one.
Josh.
I know this one. He got outed for being like a freaky weirdo. And then he's like, nah, I'm not a freaky weirdo. I don't even know at this point. Is Drake Bell a freaky weirdo? By the way, when I was a child, this girl was one of my celebrity crushes. I have no idea who she is. I don't know her name, and I've only ever seen her like twice. But I was in love with this girl. I'm telling you.
In the show, he played the cooler stepbrother that had a way with girls but wasn't that smart. Meanwhile, the other brother, played by Josh Peck, was the sweeter, more innocent half. Together, they made a dynamic duo whose adventures never failed to make 2000s kids laugh. The show ran for 4 seasons from 2004 to 2007, and even had a movie that premiered on Nick as well, Drake and Josh Go Hollywood. After the show ended, Dan
That was a
Schneider's
great
show
movie.
still continued. Though Schneider is a disgusting person, he still gave us some great shows. We had Zoe 101, Victorious, and iCarly. But what happened to the stars of Drake and Josh? Well, Josh Peck continued his acting and voice acting career.
Josh
but
Peck
when you have
became
a
an
role that
international
iconic,
drum
it's kinda hard
kingpin.
for people to not see you as that thing alone. I mean, Macaulay Culkin
Drake
still gets
Bell
called
is
the
an
Home
armed
Alone
bank
kid to this
robber.
day. Anyway, Josh Peck really mirrored his TV persona, as he really seems to be a wholesome dude.
I don't want to hear about your fucking fathers and how their assholes work, all right? It makes me sick. And I
What?
fucking hope they fucking die of disease.
What?
Okay, maybe not that clip. He returned to
Oh,
relevance.
I remember that clip. That's the one where he goes person to person on that boat and cooks every single one of them. You guys, shut the fuck up, Clyde. You fucking loser. Fucking Clyde, bro.
2013 when he began making silly vines.
Shut
Some were
up, Clyde.
collabs with other popular Viners, and some were just him embracing the Josh Nichols character. As we all know, Vine shut down in late 2016, but luckily for Josh, he was friends with David Dobrik, who was peaking at that time. Not saying Josh needed him, but David including him in vlogs really gained him a new audience, kept him relevant, and not only that, he's incredibly funny. Though when the whole David Dobrik and Dirty Dom controversy was going down in 2021, Josh removed all traces of being friends with David Dobrik. Fast forward to today, and he's following David again. So it just seems like he waited for the situation to die down until he could publicly support him again. He lives happily with his wife Paige and son Max. Oh yeah, he's also pretty famous on TikTok. Now that we got
Dude, it's weird. I feel like I've said this in a different video, but it's just so weird seeing these childhood stars. They're grown and they have families and children, and I'm like, bro, you were just in middle school 5 days ago. Now you're raising 6 kids on a farm in Oklahoma. How the hell did we progress this far in life, dude?
Wife Paige and son Max. Oh yeah, he's also pretty famous on TikTok.
Somehow people are magically born after 2016. That still doesn't make sense to me, dude. I can't wrap my brain around age.
Now that we got done talking about the wholesome brother, let's talk about Drake Bell. Drake Bell actually has a history of crimes on his criminal record before the major one, which we'll talk about. In 2009, 2 years after Drake and Josh ended, 23-year-old Bell received a DUI due to driving under the influence. Though it appears that warning wasn't loud enough, as in 2015, reports indicate that just after 2:45 in the morning in Glendale, California, police observed a vehicle speeding and swerving. When stopped by police, they smelled alcohol on Bell, and they requested a breathalyzer test, though he refused. Since this was his second DUI in a 10-year span, Drake needed to spend mandatory time in jail. The court sentenced him to 4 days in jail along with a 4-year probation period, though he didn't spend 4 days
in jail, and he ran that prison the entire 4 days. He became the pod boss in that prison pod, I'm telling you.
This was apparently due to good behavior. He also had to attend an
He was collecting honey bun tax.
In 2020, Drake's ex-girlfriend, Melissa Lingafelt, made some disturbing statements on TikTok claiming that Bell abused her during their time together. They dated in 2006 when she was 16 and he was 20. Why that slipped under the rug? I don't know. She says that he verbally and physically abused her. I'll play some of her TikTok here.
When I started dating Drake, I was 16. I was homeschooled. I moved in with him. I was singing. It wasn't until about a year when the verbal abuse started. And when I say verbal abuse, imagine the worst type of verbal abuse you could ever imagine, and that was what I got. It then turned into physical, hitting, throwing.
The internet blew up.
Everything. At the pinnacle of it.
Drake responded to this by saying that the claims were false and the most he did was call her names, which she returned back. Then in 2021, reports came out that Drake Bell had exchanged inappropriate messages with a 15-year-old girl, Melissa.
This is the whammy. This is the doozy.
Right now is a prime example of what I would witness.
This is the doozy.
Conversations online with underage girls. I saw really questionable, crazy shit on his computer. The stuff he'd be looking at was fucking insane. In July of 2021, Drake Bell was sentenced to 2 years probation on child endangerment charges. The victim, who was 19 in 2021, stated that he'd done a lot of damage to her life, including the fact that he began grooming her when she was only 12 years old, and that the messages became, quote, blatantly sexual once she turned 15. Drake would soon address this on an Instagram video, so let's hear what he had to say.
I'm not perfect, and I made mistakes. I responded to a fan whose age I didn't know, yet when I became aware of their age, all conversation and communication stopped.
Drake the rapper, not that bad.
Pay for meet and greets and all while I was.
Drake is unproblematic, you know, the light skin king himself, you know.
And that's what I pled guilty.
Put on for the light skins. You know what I'm saying? We're unproblematic.
It was reckless and irresponsible text messages. I want to make clear that there were no sexual images. Nothing physical between me.
See this? I saw this, and then I was like, okay.
I was not charged with anything physical.
But yeah, very horrible situation for the victim, and very stupid decisions made by a once beloved actor.
So is he like a freaky weirdo? Is that the final word now?
Massey.
I don't know, dude. I don't follow Drake Bell. I've still got beef with Drake fucking Bell because he scammed me in fucking high school. We're at a festival I tie-dyed a t-shirt, and I was promised a performance by Drake Bell. And they told me he got stuck in fucking traffic. That motherfucker wasn't even on the plane, dude. And then you're gonna come a year later and play at a park for 14 people. Who the fuck does Drake Bell think he is, dude?
Began his journey to stardom in the hit Disney Channel show That's So Raven. The show released in 2003 where he played Corey Baxter, the charismatic 12-year-old brother of his psychic sister, Raven. His career seemed to only be going up, even getting his own spin-off show Corey in the House in 2007. He continued appearing in Disney shows, movies, and soundtracks. Did you guys know he voiced Milo on Fishhooks? I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, as he got older he began to focus on music, even forming a rap duo with his brother known as the Massey Boys. As time went on, he had smaller roles in other shows.
Oh my god!
Even forming
That's the guy, Zoe 101. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know there was two. No, that's hard. That's hard. One of them ran Nickelodeon, the other one ran Disney Channel, dude.
A rap duo with his brother known as the
That's
Massey
a duo.
Boys. As time went on, he had smaller roles in other shows, but none were as big as That's So Raven and Corey in the House. He also started a solo rap career, and it's not that bad.
Double tap my bitch. You like all her
Woo!
pics. She's super thick.
This shit sucks.
But there's just something about the same kid from That's So Raven and Corey in the House rapping about fucking thick bitches. It's a little shocking. Anyway, on June 29th, 2021, Massey was charged in King County, Washington.
Corey fucking thick bitches in the house. I don't see the problem.
Shocking. Anyway, on June 29th, 2021, Massey was charged in King County, Washington on one count of immoral communication with a minor, where he allegedly sent lewd photos to a 13-year-old girl. The criminal charge came after a 2019 lawsuit whose allegations Massey denied,
What's with all
saying
these
that the lawsuit
celebrities?
was an extortion attempt, and that in early 2019, the attorneys representing the minor had demanded $1.5 million, threatening to go public with the allegation if he did not comply. The lawsuit also stated that Massey had known the accuser since she was 4 years old. Though Kyle failed to appear in court,
That's
that
insane.
ended up with a warrant of $100,000 being issued for his arrest. From the research I've done, it doesn't seem like there's any further details past the ones that were already revealed. Kyle's mother has actually gone on multiple podcasts defending her son, which probably isn't the best thing to do. But a mother's gonna do what a mother's gonna do, right? Seems he's still active on social media, but this entire case is definitely gonna have an effect on getting roles in the entertainment business. I just want to make it clear that I'm not saying that any of these people in this video are guilty. I am
Why are you
simply
looking at me
stating
like
public
that?
information
What
that
you
I
trying to
found
get
from
into?
articles. Like always, all my sources will be linked down in the description below. Orlando Brown. Since we're talking about That's So Raven, let's talk about Orlando Brown, who was also
Orlando. This is a big one, bro. I think we all he turned like a thug, like a true thug. He was running the streets.
He decided to focus on music. He remained on the music path, and in fact, it's still what he does to this day. If you guys hear a dog barking, I'm so fucking sorry. It's my neighbors. I can't.
I thought it was my dog. I thought it was like my neighbor's dogs, dude. There's dogs barking all.
That's not my dog. That is not my dog. I'm so sorry. Anyway, Brown's legal troubles began in 2016 when he was 29 years old. Well, documented legal troubles. On February 28, 2016, in Torrance, California, Brown was arrested and later charged with domestic battery, obstruction of justice, drug possession with intent to sell, and possession of contraband in jail, following an
See what I mean? Drug kingpins.
altercation
Did I
with
call
his
it?
girlfriend in public. Police were called to the scene after he struck her in the parking lot of a police station, and he was found by officers to be in possession of methamphetamine at the time of the incident.
He committed domestic assault in the parking lot of a police station. In the parking lot of a police station, you're gonna commit a crime. That's what you're gonna do.
He failed to appear for a scheduled court date in relation to the charges, and a warrant
It's like climbing over the gorilla pen.
was issued for his arrest. He was eventually taken into custody by police on March 18th, 2016. Following his release from jail, he again failed to appear
you know
for
they
a
end up shooting the
scheduled
wrong
court
person?
date, and a warrant was again issued for his arrest. He fled California for Nevada and was eventually found by bounty hunters.
Listen to me, you You left California. It's a felony when you flee.
I didn't flee.
What are you doing here then, brother? You gotta
Dude, he got Dog the Bounty Hunter chasing down a Disney Channel star. This is crazy. He's on the run from the feds.
warrant for your arrest.
Think about that. Just think about that.
Lost, you need help.
2 months after that, Brown was arrested by police after they found meth and a meth pipe on him. He also had another warrant out for his arrest. And in that same year, actually, Brown revealed a new tattoo on his neck, that being of Raven Simone from That's So Raven. Speaking of Raven, Orlando on his neck, that being of Raven Simone from That's So Raven.
Who is responsible? There's no way. There's no way. Who is responsible? Okay, here's the thing. The tattoo artist, listen, either he went to some really terrible tattoo artist, like it's just his boy or something, or he handed the tattoo artist this, and the guy was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And he drew that. That's like, you remember when they recreated that picture of Jesus? That painting? Or like that, what was it? The Ronaldo sculpture? It's like fucked.
Raven. Speaking of Raven, Orlando Brown actually had this to say about her on a Vlad TV interview.
I mean, I told you in the first interview, I mean, she gave me, and then I gave her some,
Yeah.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Okay. I like that. She gave him the, and he gave her the skibbity boop bop boopity bop bop boopity bop boop bop bop bop. Yeah. Okay. Okay. A skibbity beep bop boop bop. Oh yeah, yo, what it
Yeah. Very interesting.
Let's go.
Statement. He was admitted into rehab after an intervention with friends and family. Sadly, that only lasted a week, and an embarrassing video of him got posted online, which was basically him just getting kicked out of a friend's house.
Look at this dirty ass feet.
Yep.
This bum ass.
This is insane. Like, imagine being on top of the world. This guy is on top of the world. He's a Disney Channel star. Disney got fucking bands, okay? He has bands. You know, he was good. And he just spiraled downward into pure and utter turmoil. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. He's walking around bare. He's got his toes out, just scaring the kids away.
Now I know why he ain't got no family.
What?
Get the fuck away from here.
I got gun!
You better get away from my house where you get knocked the fuck out.
Knocked out for calling God? Bro, I'm chilling, bro.
Get away from my house, yo.
I'm away from your house. Hit me. I'm away. I'm off your
If
property.
you come back over, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
I'm off your property.
You wait over here for the police.
I'm off your property.
Then in 2018, he appeared on the
Bro.
Dr. Phil show. It was a very
Could you
odd
imagine walking
appearance.
outside and Orlando Brown is just like in your rose bushes? He's just in your rose bushes digging for bugs. Orlando fucking Brown.
At one point, he says that there's a 2-year-old in his baby mama's stomach, like it just hasn't been born yet.
And what's the 2-year-old's name?
2-year-old, still in the belly. Still in the belly, we don't know yet.
Okay. And what's the 5-year-old's name?
That's Mason.
Yeah, you could tell he just wasn't in the right headspace.
Dude.
Heading over to April of this year.
Nah, bro, he is not in this dimension. He's doing that thing Doctor Strange does, where he like looks through the space-time continuum.
That's Mason.
Yeah, you
That's
could
what he's
tell he just
doing.
wasn't in the right headspace. Heading over to April of this year, Orlando actually appeared on the No Jumper podcast, coolest podcast in the world. Speaking of podcasts, I'm starting one on my second channel, so make sure to go subscribe to that. Anyway, it seems Orlando Brown really made a change for the better in his life. He articulates himself extremely well and explains he regrets his drug addiction.
I had 2-year binge of something that I should have never, ever indulged in.
Meth?
Yes, it's a lot of these celebrities that will never obliterate their image.
Right.
Never.
Is that a regret that you let your personal drug consumption out into the public?
I'm saying that more people need to be more truthful with themselves in order to be in the position mentally, physically, and spiritually to help.
I like that. I like that. Seems like he's, you know, bettered himself. Still got bands, it seems. He's got his diamonds are fucking dancing. Diamond's doing a tango on his neck, iced out Frosty. You know, seems like he's doing good for himself. That's good.
someone else.
Shia LaBeouf.
You know what's crazy? You know what? I'm not even gonna go there. I was gonna say I found things out. He's got another podcast, by the way. The No Jumper guy. He's got another podcast. I found out he's got another podcast.
To be more truthful with themselves in order to be in the position mentally, physically, and spiritually.
I'm not even gonna get into what that podcast is about.
Shia Labeouf. In the early 2000s, 14-year-old Shia Labeouf became known among young audiences after playing Louis Stevens on the Disney Channel weekly program, Even Stevens. He was also the lead actor in the Disney movie Holes, playing Stanley Yelnats.
And he single-handedly brought down the Decepticons, bro. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, bro? Squatted up with Optimus fucking Prime, dude. Stop.
Unlike other actors on this list, after his Disney Channel era, Shia actually went on to land some big Hollywood movies. This included Disturbia, Surf's Up, Indiana Jones, and especially Michael Bay's Transformer movies. He was
in Surf's Up? No wonder this is such a great movie, dude. Very underrated, Surf's Up.
Surf's Up, Indiana Jones, and especially Michael Bay's Transformer movies. He was given the lead role of Sam Witwicky, which he played alongside Megan Fox, though legal issues began when he got older in 2014, specifically 28 years old. On June 26, 2014, Shia was arrested at New York City's Studio 54 Theater and charged with disorderly conduct.
I still think the greatest... Yeah, just do it! That's what I'm thinking! Do it! Just do it! Dude, that got me hyped! That got me hyped, because you know what I did? I saw that video and I did it. I went out and I did it. Thank you, Shia Labeouf. You have changed my life.
Harassment and criminal trespass.
Shout out Shia LaBeouf, dude.
Actually sought outpatient treatment for his alcoholism. He pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct, while the trespassing and harassment charges were dropped. 3 years later, on July 8, 2017, Shia was arrested in downtown Savannah, Georgia, at around 4 a.m. for, again, public intoxication. Police body cam footage actually shows Shia cussing at the police officers when he's getting arrested.
I have rights. I'm an American. You got me in my hotel, arrested me in my hotel for doing what, sir? Let's go. Yo, you really got these cuffs on me heavy, bro. They got cameras everywhere,
You really got them cuffs on me heavy, bro. Oh, gang. Oh, gang, I'ma call my nigga Bumblebee up here to fuck your ass up. Oh, you won't fuck with me in my set.
More millionaire lawyers than you know what to do.
You gotta be careful, dude.
Stupid bitch.
He later claimed that the incident was due to alcohol addiction. He was sentenced to probation for 1 year,
you better be careful,
served, as well as to seek therapy to manage his anger and substance use issues.
This ain't the Crip Gang, this is the Autobots.
Shia LaBeouf was criminally charged with misdemeanor battery and theft. He pleaded not guilty.
This picture confuses me. Is he sad or is he happy? Because he's smiling, but his eyes look like he's on the verge of tears. What is the emotional state here?
A judge ordered LaBeouf into a diversion program in May 2021, with the chance of the charges being dropped if Shia would complete the program within a year. Later that same year, in 2020, Shia was sued by his ex-girlfriend Talia Deverett Barnett, or better known as FKA Twigs, for sexual battery, assault, and infliction of emotional distress. The details of the case are very gruesome, so I'd rather just not say them here in this video, but just know they are bad. Shia LaBeouf actually responded to the allegations in an email to the New York Times, stating, "I have no excuses for my alcoholism or aggression, only rationalizations. I have been abusive to myself and everyone around me for years.
Both?
I have a history of hurting the people closest to me. I'm ashamed of that history and I'm sorry to those I hurt. There is nothing else I can really say." I mean, it's very clear that Shia LaBeouf has an alcohol problem. I don't know about 2022, but it also seemed like he's just blaming abusing his girlfriend because of alcoholism. Like, I don't know if you just blame alcoholism and get away with it. Nah, bro, that's you. Anyway,
smoke some weed, bro. Relax.
Let's head on to the next one.
Relax.
Dana Plato. Dana Michelle Plato gained some popularity in the 1973 show The $6 Million Man when she was just 9 years old. She magnified her fame when she started the 1978 sitcom Different Strokes. And Dana actually became pregnant, and due to that, she was kicked from the show. So during my research,
this is the 1970s, dude. Okay, why don't we just talk about Cleopatra and Joan of Arc, bro? It's 1973, bro. I love Lucy.
Dana actually became pregnant, and due to that, she was kicked from the show. So during my research, research, a lot of people in comment sections say that Dana Plato was extremely abused by the Hollywood industry. And honestly, I agree. After that, she appeared in independent films and was actually the first celebrity to appear in a video game. We've actually spoken about this video game in this video. And that's 1992's Night Trap for the Sega
Night
CD.
Trap.
Yeah, that was her. Toward the end of her career, Plato was given roles that were erotic. She appeared nude in Prime Suspect, Compelling Evidence, and in the softcore erotic drama Different Strokes, the story of Jack and Jill, the title of which was changed after filming in order to tie it to Plato's past. Dana separated from her ex-boyfriend Lanny Lambert in January of 1998. The same week, her mother tragically died of scleroderma. In desperation, she signed over power of attorney.
Of what?
Her mother tragically died of scleroderma.
That is not a real word. Scleroderma. You made that up. Why am I just now hearing this? I've never heard of that.
Lanny Lambert.
What does that entail? What are the symptoms of that, dude? Somebody's tell me the symptoms of scleroderma, derpa. Dude, I could have that. I could have that. And I don't know. I could just be slowly dying, and I just have no idea.
In January of 1998, the same week, her mother tragically died of scleroderma. In desperation, she signed over power of attorney to an accountant who disappeared with the majority of her money, leaving her with less than $150,000. She claimed the accountant was just never found. During her March 1990 divorce, Dana lost custody of her son to Lambert and was given visitation rights. Then after that, she became engaged to Fred Potts, a filmmaker, but that also ended as well. She then later married again to actor and producer Scott Adkins. Y'all notice she was only dating people in the Hollywood industry, right? I'm sure it was just being desperate trying to get some more roles. So she wasn't getting any roles, and it came to a point where she actually had to end up working a 9-to-5 with no idea on how to make money next. In February of 1991, she robbed a video store.
Dana Plato had been in the limelight.
Armed robbery! Did I not call this? I called drug kingpins. I called armed robberies. All we need is a serial killer. All we need is a serial killer. Has Macaulay Culkin killed anybody yet? Has Macaulay Culkin killed anybody yet?
When it ended, she did a couple of B movies.
Or are either of the Olsen twins? Have they slayed anybody yet?
And posed in Playboy magazine, but her
not
career
yet.
was going
Okay,
nowhere.
It's
By
only a matter of time.
1991, she was working the counter.
I think there's a
Al
deadline
Phillips on West Flamingo, thrifty dry cleaners today. Then, out of money, Plato went to a nearby video store.
I had the door open. She came in, stopped at the counter, and she pulled out a gun.
Clerk Heather Daly recognized her immediately, but handed over the money, then called police.
And they caught her coming back for her glasses that she dropped when she jumped over the wall.
Imagine the cops come and they're like, yeah, do you have a description of the robber? And you're like, yeah, it's like, skip to 25 minutes into this movie, and then that's her right there.
It's all over the newspapers. The radio team Johnson and Tofty did what DJs
Send her the hub link.
6 different songs, as a matter of fact.
The next year, she was arrested for forging a
scleroderma, also known as systemic sclerosis, is a group of rare diseases that involve the hardening and tightening of the skin. It may also cause problems in the blood vessels, internal organs, and digestive tract. That sounds absolutely psychotic.
Diazepam prescription, which
that sounds horrible and awful and terrible, and I feel very bad for that woman. And that's not a joke. Rest in peace, dude. That's terrible.
She spent 30 days in jail for. Dana later moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, where she struggled with poverty and unemployment. And like I said, at one point she was working a 9-to-5, more specifically a dry cleaning store, and customers would come in and recognize her and ask her, hey, what happened to your career? Just imagine what that was doing to her mental health.
That's
dude.
fucked.
On May 8th, 1999, Dana and
That's
Robert
fucked.
Menchak.
That they IRL walked up to her and said, "You fell off plus ratio." IRL. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? You're sitting there at work. You just got screamed at by a Karen, and some 19-year-old dude walks up to you and goes, "Damn, you fell off, you fucking bozo." The hood watches Jennifer Aniston now.
Her at-the-time husband, were returning to California, and they stopped at his mother's home in Moore, Oklahoma for a Mother's Day visit. Later on in the visit, Dana said she felt unwell and took some painkillers along with some muscle relaxers. She went outside to lie in her motorhome, which was parked just outside the house, and Robert and his family had to discover that she sadly died in her sleep. Well, she overdosed. It says here that initially it was ruled an accidental overdose, but with her history of drug abuse, they later ruled it as Dana's body was cremated and spread over the Pacific Ocean. Though that's not the saddest part. Remember when I said that she was pregnant years prior? Well, she once told a friend that she was extremely happy to have a baby because she'll, quote, never be alone again. Well, her son Tyler ended up growing up without a mother and sadly committed suicide by turning the gun on himself at just 25 years old. 2 days before
my god, dude.
Mother's 11th year anniversary of passing away. Yeah, man, the story of Dana Plato is extremely sad, and like you could make a whole video talking about it because it's just like a horrible story of a woman being abused in Hollywood.
That's
alright,
fucked.
guys, that was it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave
Alright, guys, another daily dose of emotional distress, bro. Cause dear fucking god, I mean, some of these had happy endings. Some of these had happy endings, right? Some of them got their lives turned around, right? Shia Labeouf doing his thing, Orlando Brown doing his thing, right? Couple of them are some freaky weirdos, yeah, definitely. That last one is depressing in many different ways, dude. Okay, many different ways, bro. But dear God, this is a great video, by the way.